Yes, good morning. I was told this is for the Deputy Chief, who's also Internal Affairs. Ma'am, when you have the opportunity, please give me a call back at 407. Again, that's 407. My name is Jeremy Dewitte. If you look at your report logs for Saturday, I'm sure you'll see. However, I need to file an Internal Affairs investigation. My next step is to FDLE Internal Affairs or Officer Affairs. Please give me a call at your earliest convenience. We've been running this business for 10 years, and we've been in your jurisdiction hundreds and hundreds of times. And back when you had a female sergeant and a nice lieutenant, and on and on and on, we've never had a problem. But when you give me a call again at 407, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Anyways, Officer Ogletree finished pulling my equipment. I was very upset at this point. Okay. I won't lie. I was starting to raise my voice but I was never disrespectful, never cursed, never told him any kind of disrespect. All I kept saying over and over was, Sergeant, I have the registration. Let me prove to you my motorcycle is not stolen. Because at this point, nobody's talked about this supposed double yellow line that I've crossed, supposedly. And nobody's ever brought up the fact that I'm impersonating a police officer. Nobody at one point said, you're acting like a cop. You have lights and sirens. Well, let me rephrase that. Our bikes do have that proper equipment. However, we only use our air horns.
Hold
the fuck over! This is a police escort. Stop! Pull over! Pull over! Hey! Pull your fucking car over! Get out of the way! Move your fuck!
However, we only use our air horns.
I'm out of gas!
Which Officer Ogletree writes in his report that I used my air horn when I entered the intersection, which per Florida statute and all the judges that we've been in front of before have approved and said, yes, for your safety, it only makes sense. So, I'm sorry. So Officer Ogletree, nobody has at this point in any way, shape, or form brought up that I was impersonating. We haven't even talked about the yellow line. All we've talking about is the bike being stolen. And I keep saying to the Sergeant, that's an impossibility. I just registered the motorcycle because it's a business motorcycle 2 months ago. Because my birth date's February, which is 2, right. But for business vehicles, it has to be registered in 6. Okay. So I just registered it 2 months ago. The Department of Motor Vehicles issued me the registration. They kept telling me they didn't want to hear me. At this point, I did call my officers on my radio and say, hey, I need you guys to get back here and turn your body cameras on because they're saying I stole my motorcycle. I need somebody to witness this. This doesn't make sense. So my men did respond. They did come back. Immediately as they pulled up, Sergeant DeStefano, along with 2 other Windermere officers that are now coming, obviously, to back up, they start screaming at my men to leave or they'd be arrested. My men aren't even 100 feet, 200, 300 feet away. They're not even that close to us, and yet they're being threatened to be arrested if they don't leave.
So they're 300 feet away.
Uh-huh.
And the cops are screaming at them.
They would be arrested if they didn't leave. Sergeant DeStefano was actually one of the ones that
screaming
at my first officer that sewed up.
All right.
And my man explained, we're just here to see what's going on because this is my guys are confused just as I am.
All right, now when you call them there, you were just asking them to come with their body cameras.
Right.
You didn't say anything like I need backup or anything like that, right?
I never said like, 43 or any kind of thing like that. I just said, hey guys, get back here. This doesn't make sense.
But nothing. Nothing like I need backup. Like where they might construe that as your guys are going to confront them or something like that.
I literally
about the body cameras.
I said, right? Guys, get back here as fast as you can. Get your body cameras on. Make sure you're recording this because this doesn't make sense. I'm being arrested for stealing my own bike.
Okay.
At this point, Officer Ogletree was very aggressive on pulling my equipment off, but it is what it is.
Right. When you say he was aggressive, what do you mean?
I mean, you know, like he's trying to yank my helmet off over and over, and he's pulling me and pulling me.
As if he's potentially trying to hurt you or something?
Let me say this now from the beginning, Detective. Mm-hmm. Officer Ogletree, although didn't talk to me, was very professional, by the way. I don't believe Officer Ogletree acted in his own power. I believe that he wrote this report under the direction of the sergeant.
Okay.
I believe that Officer Ogletree was very professional and did the right things and was doing what he should per the atmosphere of his surrounding partners.
Okay. But so you don't, when he removed your gear, you're saying you don't think he was potentially trying to harm you in any way?
He wasn't potentially trying to harm me in any way. Was it aggressive due to the situation and the fact that Sergeant DeStefano was still questioning me over my shoulder and I kept answering him? Yes, I believe that's so.
Okay. Did anybody besides Sergeant DeStefano yell or scream at your people?
2 officers that showed up when they were back up. Mm-hmm. I don't know who they are. I could point them out, but
I want everyone on this scene with their body cameras rolling. Roger. I didn't even pass on a double yellow. I stayed within inside the double yellow, which is legal for us in the state of Florida, per Florida escort. I can pull the statute as well. Somebody get 0, get with him and explain to him that's less lethal, and per Florida statute 960, we can have that. He's saying I stole the bike. But it's registered to the company. Don't walk over here, stay over there.
They start screaming at my men to leave or they'd be arrested. My men aren't even 100 feet, 200, 300 feet away. They're not even that close to us, and yet they're being threatened to be arrested if they don't leave.
So they're 300 feet away.
Uh-huh.
And the cops are screaming at them.
They would be arrested if they didn't leave. Sergeant DeStefano is actually one of the ones that
screaming
at my first officer.
Don't walk over here, stay over there. Sergeant, I can prove the registration. Stay over there.
Stay against the car.
Sergeant, stay over there. Do not walk over here. Sergeant, I can prove the registration.
As soon as we prove it, then you'll be released.
Oh, okay. But you're 15 in me and you're holding me here in front of all these people. We could have done this professionally, not like children. Just because you don't like me and you have a history with me doesn't authorize you to treat me like shit, Sergeant.
I'm treating you like shit.
You are, Sergeant.
Let's go, everybody can move on.
No, they're 12 with me, just like your officers would be if you needed help.
They can go.
No, they're staying per my orders.
Stay against
Hey, officers, I'm getting this all on
Why do you have
video
a bulletproof
camera,
vest on?
and I can promise you, this isn't going to go the way you're planning. Officer, I have my body camera on.
That's fine.
So what? Just leave my helmet on for right now, sorry, officer.
We're taking it off.
Okay.
Go. Keep driving. Go, man. Go.
I'm getting this all on video camera.
Go.
And I can promise you.
Let's go. Keep moving.
Go the way you're planning.
You know what?
Oh, you guys can keep going. Go park down the road somewhere else, but keep going. You just hang tight with me, buddy. We'll just make sure they go.
Yep.
They got 2 there. Keep them going. All right. They're gone.
And again, my question is was Sergeant DeStefano the only one who was yelling and screaming at your men, or were there other?
No, those two officers were also the ones that yelled at my men that they needed to leave and get away.
All right. Did they, when they were yelling and screaming, did they threaten him in any way?
Just with arrest.
Okay, all right.
You're being arrested for resisting arrest. And I said, officer, how is that possible? And he pointed to Officer Ogletree. And I said to Officer Ogletree, how is that even possible? I never pulled away from you. I never resisted you.
Don't walk over here. Stay over there.
Sergeant, I can prove the registration.
Stay over there. Stay against the car.
Sergeant.
Stay over there.
No, they're staying per my orders.
Stay against
Hey,
the car.
officers, I'm getting this all on
Why do you
video
have a bulletproof
camera.
vest on?
And I can just leave my helmet on for right now, sorry, officer.
I'm taking it off.
Okay.
What's the location of your emergency?
I'm currently on Lake Butler Boulevard and McKinnon Road. I guess Windermere Police made an arrest here on this road. The guy is being arrested. We're trying to find so we can get emergency contact information.
Are you related to this whole incident? Is someone involved?
I'm not related, but they told us to basically move down the block. We moved down the block.